introduce yourself and where you are, and then go on to talk about why you decided to come racing Farley Castle this year.
I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Yeah, you look straight to your own.
Okay. Hi, I'm Grant Langston, and we're here at Farley Castle for the World Vet Motocross of Nations 2016, and still trying to figure out how I ended up getting convinced to come here, but no, it's been fun. We had some pretty hectic weather here on Saturday, so unfortunately it cost, I kind of blew it by stalling the bike there, but no, it's been fun. Dave King kind of begged me for a year or two, and then got to meet Gavin Williams and finally get a ride at KX500, and then come out here and try it, and then learn a new track, learn a new bike, and then deal with the mud. So it was definitely interesting, but I will say it was actually more fun than I was expecting. Obviously the result wasn't there, but ran fourth for most of the race. Actually thought I had a chance at the podium, but we'll get him next one.
Hi, I'm Nicoll, riding for Team GB here at Farley Castle. After years of trying, Dave King finally convinced me to come over this year. You know, I've had a problem to have time in the last few years to be able to come, but I decided this year I'd build a bike and ship it over and try to do the best I could at this race.
My name is Werner. I ride with the Belgian Evo team, and every year we come to Farley to race with people we used to race with and some Americans from back in the days. And we always have a lot of fun racing the track, and it's an old school track, so we enjoy it.
I think what it is about Farley Castle is just the history and the legacy of the event. You know, obviously I've said it before, I have no desire really to race, but an event like this is at least kind of appealing, you know, in a sense where it's a little bit fun, exciting, different, out of your element. Obviously being on Team South Africa, you want to obviously do your country proud. But at the same time, it's not the be-all and end-all. I think at the end of the day, we've got a good group of people I raced with, obviously Ryan and Andre over the years, and then coming here, racing a lot of the guys I raced on the GPs, and it's like a bit of a family reunion in a sense.
Well, Farley Castle is a very traditional track, and obviously suits the older bikes, and also, you know, I think suits the riders as well of a certain age. And I mean, as soon as I arrived here, I'm absolutely amazed what a huge event it is, and how many people there are here riding. It's great.
I don't know, I think it's more the atmosphere here where everybody can come and check out the bikes, and the bikes look really cool, and you know, so I think that's more for the people than the GPs or the British Championship or the Belgian Championship. It's different.
Yeah, well, the thing about this Vet Motocross of Nations and everyone being on vintage bikes, I mean, if you're involved in vintage motocross racing, you are a very passionate motocross racer. It's not your newcomers. You probably don't have a lot of people that are new to the sport, you know, so they're really passionate about motocross, and that means that everybody here is really into it. But for me, one of the coolest things is all of these old motocross bikes, because it's very nostalgic for me. I mean, I started riding motocross in 1978, and so, you know, it really takes me back to my early days, and through the evolution of the bikes in the 80s that, you know, I was too young to ride back then. I was riding mini bikes, and so to get a chance to ride these bikes is pretty cool. It also gives you a real good appreciation for when you ride the older bikes, for where the motorcycles are at now and just how good the bikes are. So I've been riding, I believe it's a 1983 twin shock 500 Husqvarna, and then also a 1986 or 89 510 Husqvarna in the Evo class. And I can tell you, my brand new Husqvarnas are quite a bit different than what those bikes are.
Yeah, I mean, I won my first MXGP race here, or, you know, 500cc GP race as it was back then, in 1987. That was the first one I ever won, and so that's definitely my fondest memory. But I mean, I had some other great races here. I never won the GP here overall, which was a shame, but I had some great races.
Every year I come to win, and fun is part of it, but when you win it's always fun, you know, it's like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely here to do the best I can, hopefully to win, and you know, things started off well while it was dry, but didn't go so well once it got wet. I have to remember that living in Southern California now, I don't think I've ridden in the mud for at least 10 years. So it was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I know a lot of the guys that used to race have been taking this seriously, building bikes, training, doing all that. Unfortunately, I just haven't done as much riding and training as I would obviously like, but then again, I'm not 100% you know, focused on racing. It's, you know, I have a lot of other things on the go, and traveling and TV announcing is taking a lot of my time up, but it was nice just to be able to try and get on the bike each week, and then but like I said, you get on that 500 two-stroke and the arm pump sets in, and you know, you can be still in good shape. You got arm pump, makes things a lot tougher.
No, I mean, there are some great riders out here. I mean, I really enjoy riding with Jamie Dobb. Obviously, you know, we raced together a lot in the 90s, but then I was his team manager when he won his world championship, so it's nice to race against Jamie. And you know, there's guys like John Dowd I don't get to race against very often, Werner Witt, who I raced against in the 90s, Brian Jorgensen, who's younger than me, that I didn't really race against. So yeah, I mean, there's a ton of people and it's great.
I would say I was excited just to race some of the guys. Obviously, from old rivalry, I wanted to beat Dobby pretty bad, and then I was kind of excited to race against Nicoll and Jeff Emig. I watched those guys race and battle at real motocross of nations back in the day. So to be on a 500 race against those guys that I looked up to as well, and that I'm friends with, it's fun. But there's also a lot of fast guys, and there's always ringers who maybe don't have the huge GP superstar name, but they still go real fast and they ride a lot, and they know these tracks.
I mean, I came here a few years ago, and I just loved it. You know, it's like, it reminds me of being a kid. I bring my kids here, you know what I mean? They get to see what I used to do, and you know, the whole event, the atmosphere and everything, it's a fantastic weekend. And it's, when Dave asked if I would do it again, and I jumped at the chance, and then I brought my good friend Jeff Emig over as well. So it was it's been a great time. Obviously the weather's been horrendous, which I really feel for, you know, the guys that really do work for this race once a year, but hopefully the sun will come out later on today, and we'll have a good day.
First off, I think I actually had to convince Jamie Dobb to race this event with me. I've heard of the history of Farley Castle, of course the GPs and Motocross des Nations and British Championships events, and it looked like some place that I should probably check off the list to race. So I really prefer this style of track, but unfortunately here in 2016, day one was filled with a lot of rain and a lot of mud, and so I didn't really get to experience it as kind of the dry, hard grass track that I saw in the photos.
I didn't race for a long time with Jeff Emig. I raced with him in the Nations, the real Nations, then in 93, 94. He beat me every time, and this year I have my revenge. I beat him yesterday, so I hope I beat him today, and the Belgians will be on the top step, because back then we lost with 1 point, so we're going to try.
Yeah, Jamie's a dear friend of mine, and we get to spend a lot of time together throughout the year, and so we decided to do this race together. I have found myself with him on the track in both of the first motos, in the Twin Shock and in the Evo class, and so I decided to put a pass on him in the Twin Shock class, and it was so cool. I'm yelling at him, I'm screaming at him, looking over, and then I realized that I have overcooked the turn massively, and it was everything I could do not to T-bone the guy in front of me. I just missed him, and I go flying off the track, I mean deep into the bushes. I mean, how I didn't go down and take the other guy down with me, I don't know. And Jamie had a front row seat for it. He said he couldn't even ride the next two laps because he was laughing his ass off the whole time. So, and that's kind of the spirit of this event when you're riding these old bikes, is that you just have to understand the performance of your bike, and go out there and have a good time.